So, and he came, and we were like,
It's-
"Wow, you remember this racket? Were you?" And it was a wooden racket, 18 millimeters.
18 millimeters.
18 millimeters width.
How much
So,
is this?
36.
36.
But that was this shit, because before that there were 12 millimeters.
And how was it like to play with a wooden paddle racket?
At that time, it was the same for us.
Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know. I mean, imagine, we were from playing with this to play with this. It was like, oh, fuck, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's amazing. But the Argentinian rules were you cannot serve and volley, and the Spanish rules were
Serve
serve and volley.
Yes.
But then at some point, Spain had to play against Argentina.
Yes, in the first World Cup, they got together and there was a negotiation. And it was like this. We have that difference, and also the Spanish courts, wall courts, they have 1 more meter wall.
Okay.
So the Argentinians say, listen, this is insane. So you have a massive advantage because you can serve there. You know, if you serve here, it was him.
Wow. So you had 1 extra meter of concrete.
Yes. So you have serve and volley, and you can also serve there. So they say, okay, we do it like this. We Argentinians, we start playing serve and volley, but you guys cut 1 meter the court.
Okay. And then who won? Argentina. Of course.
Argentina won for the first 20 years, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put it a little bit more here.
You're recording? No.
Yeah, is it recording? Yeah. Yeah, we're live, Herman.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're going to do a forced conversation because we are live and we didn't know we were live.
Sorry.
No,
They tricked me.
Sasha put the camera on and she said, I'm going to the bathroom and you guys just...
Yeah, no,
see.
at the beginning, Argentina, not because of anything, padel started earlier in Argentina. I mean, professional padel, so it's natural.
But how was Mexico? It started in Mexico.
Yeah, but it didn't develop so much. In Mexico, it was super elitist. So only a few people could afford to play padel.
Oh.
So only rich people used to play padel back in those days in
But
Mexico.
in Argentina was not, it was
And
clubs.
Argentina became massive in the Middle Ages.
And where?
Everywhere.
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 Concrete floor, concrete wall.
Yes.
And chicken fence.
Well, all kind of.
All
There
kind of.
were chicken fence, there were fence like this. There was another kind of fence that was like twisted, but
And-
everywhere.
Everything was 4 meters high.
Yes. Well, no, that's the thing. When I started playing, the fence was only, I think, 180 or so. So it was very easy to kick it out through the side. And that's
180.
yes.
So you're
less.
very good in Port Cuatro. Yeah. Well,
No,
not Port
no,
Cuatro.
no. In the back it was 4 meters.
Oh, what about
But the side was like this. I think, yeah, something. No, 180, 150 probably. I don't
150?
know.
Yes.
Something like that, or maybe a little bit. I remember, I was very little when that was happening.
Yeah.
But it was. Yeah,
You were taller than the sidewall.
not because I was very small in that age,
Okay.
but yes. So what was easy was to smash it out through the side. And that's when they decided to build the cage, what they call it the cage, la jaula.
So that's because of Argentinian paddle.
I don't know how it was in Spain, I wasn't here.
Oh. But in Spain it started 33 years ago? First court, Marbella?
No, Marbella started a lot longer. Actually, Marbella was before Argentina. So the story is that it was born in Mexico. Alfonso de Lolenho brought these 2 courts in Marbella Club.
Yeah, they're not there anymore?
Yeah, they're still there.
Oh, it's still there?
We can go. The promise is a private house. We had to ask for permission, but we can go there and show our friends
Yeah.
the creator of padel, actually.
Oh.
Because that was the first proper padel court.
Okay.
Then the Argentinian polo players, they used to come to Soto Grande and Marbella to play polo. They tried it, they loved it, they took it back to Argentina. In Argentina, it became massive. In Spain, it stayed a little bit more elitist at the beginning, so not so many people played. So the big boom of padel in Argentina was 89, 90, 91. That was massive. We're speaking about nearly 4 million people playing padel.
Wow.
And that's when the professional tour was born.
Okay.
Yeah, 88, 89, somewhere like
And
that.
then Argentina won every tournament against Spain.
Well, back in those days, it was only in Argentina playing the tour.
Oh, okay.
In Spain, there were good players, but there was no World Cups. I think the first World Cup was in year 92 or something. But of course, the more people play, the better players you're going to have.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of money in the tournaments in Argentina back in those days.
Okay.
Then crisis came, etc., etc. And then late 90s, early 2000, all the players, we started coming to Spain because that was where the tour was. So the big...
That's why you moved to Spain?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I came to play padel.
But you started with tennis
I started with tennis.
until you were 13 and you switched to padel?
No, a friend of mine just reminded me the other day that I started playing padel when I was 11, actually.
11?
So it's now, this year, it's going to be 35 years playing padel.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am not even 35 years old. So if I win against you, I'm happy. Okay. And then, because tennis was actually quite expensive to do, and you have to travel everywhere.
Yeah.
I think
know.
you told me that once.
Well, yes, also the distances. You have to understand Argentina. So if you think Spain is a big country,
Yeah.
Spain fit in one province of Argentina. So from south to north, there must be around 7,000 kilometers. So for example, in the province that I was living, I could drive 800 kilometers from the east to the west, and I was still inside the same province.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the size of Holland, I guess.
Yeah, that's quite long cycling to,
Yeah.
to do.
So traveling was very expensive because you had to take flights everywhere.
And then paddle was a better option.
Well, no, it was just a different option. I just quit tennis because I couldn't afford it,
Yeah.
and I started playing padel as a hobby. But guess what?
Yeah, you liked it, started to like it more.
Yeah,
Just like everybody
I'm
watching.
competitive, so I started competing, and
Yeah. So then you went to Cordoba. No?
when I moved to Spain,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I lived in Madrid for like a month. I have a job offer from Cordoba, and I moved to Cordoba.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was year 2001.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm in the shade. I'm gonna sit next to.
Yeah.
It's everything is live.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, but
don't be
I-
shy. Come on, honey.
Herman started smoking again, so I don't want to be too close to him. Oh, the weather is better now. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some of you guys might be watching this from Sweden, Holland.
Yeah, but we are sitting in the sun.
I'm sorry, but we are enjoying a lot of
Yeah.
this weather.
And it's February.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, we played like paddle yesterday. We did a video today, and now we are uploading or creating our first podcast. I don't even know a name, so I think we need your help a little bit.
I think we need your help with the name, and also
I thought of Padelcast.
I like it.
You like it?
Padelcast.
Padelcast. In Holland we say padel.
Padel.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Paddle.
We are weird. What would you say?
Paddle.
Padelcast.
Yeah. Padelcast or podcast.
Podcast. Hmm.
Okay, we
But
can
it's-
let them vote.
Yeah, let them vote. Podcast or Padelcast or something else. If you have a nice fancy name for the Padel podcast,
We should give it, if somebody comes with a really good name,
we give him a free lesson.
we give him a free lesson.
Yeah,
We can give them like a video analyze. They can send us
Yeah.
a video and we can give them some feedback.
yeah.
What do you think?
I think that would be good.
I mean, if they want to.
If they
don't,
want
it's
to,
okay.
we're gonna completely destroy your
Confidence.
confidence. Like, listen, yeah, we've seen some stuff and it's not good. We have to you have to start learning again. That's what I do as a joke a lot. I say, no, I had lessons with him and okay, then we have to start all over again. And they're like, no, he's good. He's a good coach. Yeah. But it's good. And also, we started just talking, but what I wanted to speak with you about and what is interesting, I think, is the difference between teaching technique and teaching tactics, because we spoke about yesterday off camera that also beginners, we start to teach tactics first. And it's not about technique so much. And I believe that not everybody should teach the same way, but I had a lot of good lessons when I was teaching tactics, and I believe that I highly believe that if I have confidence or give them the confidence that they can do tactics, they improve a lot.
Well, there are a few things. Of course, a complete beginner that never had a racket in their hands, they need some fundamentals.
Yeah.
Like you need forehand, you need backhand, you need to give them some tools so they can do the tactics. But you cannot, or I mean, this is entirely my opinion. I'm not the owner of the truth, okay? But I will not start teaching technique. I will not wait to teach the tactics until the technique is perfect. As soon as the technique is good enough to be able to have a rally, to be able to control the ball a little bit,
Yeah.
I think that's the moment to start. You don't have to go too deep into the tactics. But I think what is more important about the tactics is not just the tactics itself, but to teach them a way of playing padel, which is that every time you take a shot, think about where you're going to place it and why you're going to place it.
Yeah, it's a mindset to understand what you are doing.
Many times when I start teaching tactics to my students, or sometimes I say, okay, you should play there or there, and they say, I didn't even think about it. I just want to be able to go over the net.
Yeah, or, oh, I'm happy that I have the ball.
Exactly. So, as you well say before, you'll never be able to play the ball in a specific place unless you think about trying to put it in a specific place.
I believe if they try to aim there, the shot is always better. Always. If they have a target in mind, even if they don't succeed, that's what I tell everybody, just think of where you want to play the ball and try to be there as close as possible. If not, no worries. But if you have a goal in mind, and I think you can learn a lot from that. If you are like an okay player and you always have like, okay, I'm going to play there, or I'm going to play to this player, you actually improve technically as well because you have like a purpose.
Well, your brain has a challenge. Many times when we teach, we try to help so much the student that we feed with so much information. I learned this with the kids. Teaching kids, you tell them do this, do that, do that. When it's a lot simpler, you tell them play the ball there,
yeah,
and they will find a way.
Yeah.
Just give them a goal.
Play on the green cone. Yeah.
Yes, or play to the right, or play short, or just tell them where the ball has to go.
Yeah.
Of course, it will not work out the first time, but if you give a kid, and adults are not so different, just kids will do it quicker. But
yeah,
it's true.
Sometimes kids, they don't make things so complicated.
Well, that's the thing. We tend to give them too much information, which will lock them, and we don't let the instincts work. Because also, when I have to figure it out how to do things, normally it happens in a more natural way. Mm-hmm. Now, if the way they found to do it is not the right one, we can help them, we can adjust.
Yeah.
But so to summarize a little bit, for me is first, if we introduce tactics early, people get used to play with tactics. Could be the best, could be the worst tactic, it doesn't matter.
No.
But they get used to think before they hit the ball.
Yeah.
Which is the fundamentals about tactics.
Yeah.
Then you might choose the right tactics, you might not. That's another story to come.
And you
but
know
at least
better what's coming next as well.
But so the first thing for me is to create the habit
of thinking
there is a tactic.
That's more important than technique.
Now, once you got the habit, then you can start developing better tactics.
It also makes more sense to do the tactic, and then you play the match, and then you see, okay, this is the reason. Why did you lose the point? Yeah, because the ball is too fast. Okay, now you understand that you have to play more slice with the volley, or you have to play softer with the volley. So I feel like it's sometimes the other way around, that it starts with tactics to show it in the match. You say, listen, this is what happens. So I play with the student, and they say, oh, I'm a good tennis player, and I boom, boom, ball bounce fence, boom, on the feet, soft, lob. And then it's like, oh, now I understand. And then they start to learn.
Yes, but also it's important to analyze when you win points, and why you did it. No, but also because this is a coach's mistake. We all focus on saying, okay, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, you did that wrong, okay. But it's important that the student knows when they did right so they can do it again.
Yeah.
So in the tactics it's the same. If you win the point and you don't analyze why, you are actually being lucky.
Yeah.
Now, if I win 2 points, I say, okay, I win because what did I do? I did that. So I play on his forehand and he failed. Okay. I play again on his forehand and he failed. The first 2 times he might be lucky. But now I know that is a weakness there. So I know that if I play there more often, I will win points more often.
Yeah.
That it becomes tactics.
Do you think everybody can think this way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So people just don't have enough confidence in themselves
Well,
sometimes?
I think many people, they still think a lot about the technique. People realize a lot about the technique because this is a general thinking. If I hit the ball right, I should win the point. And that works out maybe in tennis. Even in tennis there is tactics, but padel is a lot more complex because there is a wall behind.
Yeah.
So the best shot can turn into the worst shot at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the typical example is a smash. You all seen the World Padel Tour, somebody hits an amazing smash, and all of a sudden the opponent jumps, boom, and win the point.
Yeah.
So it was the best and the worst at the same time.
Yeah. And sometimes that's weird because if you're coming from tennis and you think like, oh, my smash is like the best thing I have, my serve is amazing, and then you start to smash a lot in padel, and that's where you actually, your weakness, or your strong point becomes your weakness.
Yeah.
And that's interesting.
And the same, for example, in tennis, if you have the opponent out of place, so you play to the empty space, a good shot, that's enough.
Yeah.
The ball has gone.
Yeah.
But in padel, you see the same space. If you play too fast, that ball comes back. So it's not enough with seeing the space. You have to judge which is the right speed as well, because too slow, they will have enough time to get it. But too fast, they will also have enough time to get it because the ball will bounce back. They will actually have more time.
Yeah.
So
that's super.
It's very important to learn where to play and also the speed selection, which is different in every moment.
And what would be a more similar sport than to padel? Is tennis like tactically closer to padel, or is it more like, can you analyze it more with football?
I would say
or squash,
football or basketball.
Yeah.
Not squash so much, because the big difference between tennis, squash, and padel is they're individual sports.
Yeah.
In the minute this sport becomes a team sport, tactics are more complex.
Yeah.
So for me, from a technique point of view, of course, it's similar to tennis.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. But from the tactical point of view, it's more similar to other team sports.
That makes total sense. Yeah. And squash doubles is also very dangerous. Yeah.
I didn't know.
You can do. Yeah, I've seen people play squash doubles.
Yeah, but that's like extreme sport.
You have a lot of lets. It's insane. You have to wear a helmet, I think, and something for your teeth. I think it's very dangerous. But I have like some hockey players, or field hockey. This is very big in Holland, and they practice the turn, and they can turn like I did. Like, okay, I play on the ball on your left foot, and they turn. It's like, okay, how did you manage that? I had no tennis player in the beginning that could do the turn. And they understand, like football players sometimes, they don't have to play the ball, they have to use the glass because it's more natural for them to let the ball pass because maybe their teammate is in a better spot. Yeah. And that's interesting. So sometimes being a tennis player, maybe if we think of what kind of advice we could give, it's not always that you have to think, maybe you can bring your technique to the court.
Yes, the biggest difference, they have to change the mindset.
Yeah.
They have to think that a good shot is not enough.
No.
So in tennis, you can be in the worst place, you play an amazing forehand, it's a passing shot.
You win the point.
We see it with Djokovic, with Nadal, with Federer. This doesn't happen in padel.
No.
It doesn't happen because the ball comes back. So there's always a second chance.
And you get less and less and less free points. I believe.
So the way to go is like more making the opponent move, making the opponent move, making the opponent move until you see it. So that's why I say in this sense it's more similar to basketball or football. You're passing the ball from one place to another, passing the ball until you find a gap where you can finally go.
Yeah, because I said to Godel, I had a lesson with him yesterday and I played a volley in the middle. I said, well, this is like a winner. And he said, no. There is no winner. The only winner is if you play it out of the court by Otro.
Yeah.
Not even the smash. So he wasn't even talking about the
No,
smash
no,
back.
out of the court.
He was not talking about the smash out of the court. He was only talking about this boom ball that you take over the fence. And I think
And
not
even-
everybody realizes that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you start to play winners, especially from the back, yeah,
And
that's
coming
not
from a guy that has amazing hands, like Godo.
yeah.
Because let's agree that a few people I've seen, I've seen Padel, I've seen all the players.
Yeah.
And I think I can count with one hand people with the skills that he has.
Does he have more skills than Sanyo?
Well, you can put them together.
Yeah.
But I think Godo,
Yeah.
it's even
He's
more.
underrated. So if you compare him to, can you compare him the best to Christian Gutierrez?
Yeah, he goes in a similar category.
Yeah. And not everybody knows them, but they're amazing.
Yeah, guys, before LeBron and Galan, the worst Padel players as well. For the youngsters,
Yeah.
there were other players.
Yeah.
Yes, and they were really, really good players, like Gonzalo Diaz, like Christian Gutierrez, many other players that are no longer playing, or at least not on TV, and they were amazing players.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we talk about maybe a little bit technique, because I don't want to compare tennis and paddle all the time, but I was learning like from Godo a preparation, and it was so incredibly small that I had to play the forehand volley in the center. I was like, holy moly, I'm coming from tennis and this is like extreme. This is like no swing. You would never, even if you play like a volley in tennis, you have a bigger swing. Or you follow through longer, but this is like boom, that's it, no mas.
Yeah.
Very high to low, ending lower than the net with the swing, and that's not allowed in tennis. If you do tennis volley and you end lower than the net with your racket, you will get sent home. And now it was, he taught me that it was the purpose to end lower than the net with a lot of slice. We did something similar, and this technique is so interesting. To learn and to feel like, okay, I just do this and that's it, no mas. And learning now, I think I play paddle now for 7 or 8 years, and I still play too fast.
Well, I played against you the other day,
Oh.
like we saw in the video.
Keep it
Your
nice.
improvement is obvious.
Oh, good.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you play too fast, but that was the big change that I felt this time. We haven't played each other in about 4 months, 5
Yeah,
months, I
something
guess.
like this, yeah. Yeah.
And for me, the big change in your game was exactly that,
The speed.
the speed. And that's when you step up. That's pure, you can speak about, okay, yeah, my bandeja is better now, but the big change is that your pace is a way better. So now you have time to get everywhere,
Yeah.
and we don't play so uncomfortable because now I have to move more. Since the pace is lower, you're making me walk
Yeah.
to the back of the court.
Yeah,
While before
yeah.
I was just waiting on the white line.
I'm trying to play more with my opponent than against my opponent, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, for me it does. I don't know if for everybody.
Yeah.
You can tell us what you think about this. I swear to God, nobody has smoked anything strange.
I'm not that Dutch. But yeah, and now I'm playing now in Holland. Everybody starts to, like a lot of good players, they start to play twice a day. I find it very difficult now to compete against them, but they like to play very fast. They are powerful. The people are starting to get on the court here, so we have to close the podcast down because they kick our asses off the court. But I start to decrease the speed a lot because they find it so difficult if I play slow and I play soft on the feet, lob, soft on the feet, lob. And that's more like, in my opinion, playing with the opponent instead of against the opponent.
Well, if you play against the people that play so fast, you want to play slow and you let them hang themselves,
Yeah.
because you just play a softball far and you know they're going to play fast. So all you have to do is just play back to the other pace, and this is it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the first episode, and we would like to know what kind of subjects you would like to hear us speak about. Please send us questions in the comments below, so we can answer your questions. So if you have any questions that you would like to get answered by us, then let us know. And
And remember to think of a name.
name of the
So
podcast.
remember, we we offered 2 names, which were Padel Cast.
Podcast.
The other one was Podcast, but we are open to suggestions.
Yeah, maybe something with our names. Sven.
No,
That's not good, huh?
No.
No.
I have a German and you have a Dutch name. It's awful, man.
Yeah, I think German and Dutch don't go along all the time.
Nah, not really.
No. So yeah, thank you all for listening or watching if you're doing this from YouTube. I don't know if I can get this on Spotify, but it would be nice. Yeah, let us know what you think about it. Is it good? Is it horrible? Do we need to do something else?
Yeah, would you like to hear more about history of padel, the evolution of the sport, evolution of the racket, how it used to be in the beginning? Or if you want more tactical information, or if maybe you would like us to speak about the new players in the tour, the new teams.
Yeah, the parejas.
Yeah, las nuevas parejas.
The nuevas parejas.
Vale? Because that will give us a pointer of which direction to go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're here to do it for you guys. So
Yeah.
just tell us.
Yeah, and to be tanned in the
Yeah,
sun.
we're suffering so much in here.
In the sun. This is, by the way, the longest outro I ever did. We just keep on talking because everybody's going on the court except they're scared for the camera to enter our court. So I think
They're waiting.
no, yeah,
now?
maybe they're waiting there. I think they're scared to kick us out.
They don't dare.
No, yeah. But yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for listening and watching, and we see you in the next Padel Cast
Or podcast.
episode. Hasta luego, ciao.
Hasta
adios.
luego.